Okay, everybody, I think we're ready to read the book. And again, it's called Bread Comes to Life, A Garden of Wheat and a Loaf to Eat. A garden of wheat and a loaf to eat. Yeah, I heard some rhyming too. There is some rhyming in the book, so you'll want to catch on to that. Now, it is by George Levinson, and it's photographed by, what does that mean? Did somebody draw pictures? No, right, they didn't draw the pictures, they used a camera, right, used a camera and took some photographs. So again, pretty good idea this must be informational text if they're, using photographs instead of illustrations. Good. And I'm going to struggle a little bit with the photographer's name, but I'm going to try. It says photographed by Shmel Thaler. I hope I was kind of close on that. Good. All right, and I did notice a little rhyming. A garden of wheat and a loaf to eat. All right, and obviously this is the slice of bread from the loaf, and then we have the wheat all the way around the outside. Okay, those are, yep, shocks of wheat. All right. Again, we have a table of contents because there's more than one story in the book. And this is the one we're worried about right here, the one at the top. Bread comes to life, and it says page 4. So I will go to page 4 and we will get started. Well, not until we look at the title page. So here's our title page. What is that white stuff? What's going on there? What is this thing? Yeah, some of you wore one of those when we made our pizzas. Yeah, that's a chef's hat or a baker's hat. Good. And also our chef or baker, I'm probably going to say baker just because we are baking some bread, it looks like, has on some white gloves. Good. All right. Again, by George Levinson and photographed by Shmuel, oh dear, hope I said that okay, Thaler. All right, here we go. Ready? Bread is the food we eat every day. So many kinds, so many ways. Lots of good looking bread there. Did you hear the rhyming? Every day, so many kinds, so many ways. Good. White bread, black bread, small bread, tall bread, thin bread, twin bread, dinner rolls, bread with holes, hard, day-old tough bread. Now, I see the white bread and the black bread, then I see the small bread and the tall bread. Do you see it there? Those two girls? That one has a loaf of bread that's as tall as she is. How about that? What do you call the bread with holes? Yeah, I see donuts. I think they're bagels. Yeah, bagels. Now, do you see the twins at the bottom with their twin dinner rolls? Yes. Now, how about the girl there with that? That must be the hard day old tough bread. She's using it for what? Yeah, like a baseball bat. Good. Okay. Now, over on the other side, it says soft, squishy, fluff bread. Now, those of you that get the peanut butter sandwich at school, that's probably more like what you're used to seeing, isn't it? The soft, squishy fluff bread. Yeah. Looks like she took it right out of the plastic wrap and just squinched it up. Bread is toast. Bread is crumbs. Bread is pizza. Bread is buns. Okay, I see that toast shooting out. That's some toaster, isn't it? Look how high those pieces of bread went in the air. Wow. And there's our pizza. What part of the pizza is bread? Yes, the crust over here. Buns, which is kind of another, they're hard rolls. Okay. How is bread made? Where is it from? Well, I think we have a hint from the front cover because I saw that wheat, and wheat was in the title. Is he juggling those? He's juggling rolls. Ah, but this baker makes his bread from scratch by sowing wheat in his backyard patch. So, now, we don't mean like with a sewing machine. When you sow seeds, it means you plant them. So do you see him down there planting his seeds in his little backyard garden? Soon those seeds send down roots and sprout into shoots of bright green grass. So there he is, he's planting. Now before long it looks like this. Do you see the roots down below? And then the green blades above. I like how they did that picture where they put the words right through the middle so you could see the roots down below. Yeah, and the green blades at the top. So his wheat is growing. The days pass and that grass grows into sturdy blades, tall and straight. Oh dear, let me grab that again. Stop laughing at me. Sometimes it's hard to handle this stuff. Tall and straight, finely made, with budding heads and bristly hair gently waving in the air. So there's a great close-up of what that looks like. And do you see the grain is kind of in those little, for lack of a better word, those little pods in there, okay? And then on this side, you can see what it looks like as it gets taller. Look at that beautiful blue sky. So his grain is growing. His wheat is growing. What does it take to grow stuff like that? What do you need? 3 things. Sun, water, and soil. You got it. When the crop is ripe and old, the tops are bowed and streaked with gold. Let me go back and read that again. Remember our strategy about reread? I don't know if that's bowed or bowed. What do you do with your head? Yeah, we think about bowing our heads. I think that maybe was the word I was supposed to use. Let's see if this makes more sense. When the crop is ripe and old, the tops are bowed and streaked with gold. Yeah, because see, they're kind of bending down like when you bow your head. Yeah, see, I had to reread because I got through that. I thought, that doesn't really make sense. Okay, and there he is. What's he doing out there? Is he picking it? Yeah, I think so. It says, and every head of wheat contains many tiny finished grains. So he is out there harvesting. Okay. You can kind of get an idea of the size by looking at him holding it in his hand there. Have you noticed we haven't seen his face yet? Don't you think that's kind of interesting? Time to cut the golden field, gather up the backyard yield. And yield just means all the grain that he has gotten from his crop, okay? Now the problem is he doesn't want all that stuff. He just wants the grain out of it. So on the next page it says, stack up piles of sun-dried stalks, rub them in a threshing box. It's the simple old-time miller's craft of separating wheat from chaff. And a miller is someone who does that. That's his job, is to get the grain out of there. Now the chaff is everything but the grain. It's like the stalk and all that other stuff that you don't want. The only reason you've grown this is because you want the little pieces of grain, right? So the chaff is what they're trying to get rid of. So that threshing box helps him separate the wheat from the chaff. They also used to do that with horses. They would hook up horses or mules, and they would walk around in a circle, and they would help separate the grain from the chaff. What's left are seeds, a hefty load, many times the number sowed. What does that mean? I'm going to read that again. What's left are seeds, a hefty load, many times the number sowed. Oh, I see. They're saying that, think about how many he planted, how many seeds he planted, not very much, but look how much he got out. That's what that means. See, I had to read it twice. And each new grain of harvest wheat looks just like a loaf to eat. And they're saying how that little piece of grain there almost looks like a dinner roll, you know, with a little indentation down the middle like that. Okay. Now is the hour to grind those grains into whole wheat flour. And there he is. He's putting them in the top. And when he grinds them and it comes out the bottom, see how it looks more powdery? You guys know what flour is. I'm sure you know. Yeah, we've used it in the classroom. I'm sure you've seen people bake with it. All right. So he's making his own flour. Now, most of us go to the store to buy it. With simple tools and easy rules, it's on with the show to make up some dough and bring fresh bread to life. And there he's got his tools all ready. And this is almost like a science experiment, making bread, because you have to have all these special things to make it work. And here they are. Ready? He's got some yeast, honey, right there, pouring out of the measuring cup. And it's pouring it into the water, and then his flour at the bottom. You can see it spelled out. Different spelling from the flowers you think of, pretty flowers in the garden. It's a different spelling. And then he also has to add salt, oil. Whoops, let me do it again. Salt, oil, and muscle power to rhyme with. Good, with muscle power. What does that mean? Yeah, I see his spoon in there. Any other kind of muscle power I think he might need to use? Some of you have baked bread. I heard somebody say his hands. Yeah, remember you have to kind of knead it. Let's see if that's it. Oh, it is. And here's a good sequencing. Ready? Here's a good sequencing thing. Dump it, thump it, dust it, knead it, squash it, stretch it. Okay, I'll do one more time for you. Let's read that again so we can get the order of things. I'm going to fold this page back for just a second. Here we go. Ready? Dump it, thump it, dust it, knead it, squash it, stretch it. And what's left? The fun part, toss it. I bet that's the part you like the best. Hey, we still haven't seen his face yet. Have you noticed that? I don't know what that's all about. I hope he catches it. Otherwise, I don't think I'd want to eat that loaf of bread. Set it aside to rest and rise. It grows and grows to twice the size. Right, and you need to do that because if you don't, that bread's going to be hard as a rock. Did you notice what happens when you let it rise? What does that look like in there? Little what? Yeah, little air holes, And it makes the bread lighter, kind of breaks it up. Otherwise, yeah, it'd be like eating a rock. So you're going to let it rise, and then you have to punch it down one more time. Punch it down, give it some shape, let it rise again, put it in to bake. So there he is punching it down. Okay, and he has to let it rise one more time, and then he shapes it into the loaf, and it goes in the oven. I'm getting hungry. I can smell it. I can smell it baking. And remember, this was my favorite part. Slice it fresh. Can you see he's slicing it, and that one piece of bread is coming off? Slice it fresh. It's better than cake. Well, I don't know about that. What do you think? Is it better than cake? It's pretty good, but some of us might think cake's a little better. Whatever the shape it finally takes, wherever the place it finally bakes, every day we are blessed with a mountain of bread. It's the staff of life. May all be fed. Oops. Look at all the different types of bread. Some have harder crusts, some are softer. Okay, all different kinds. All right, very good. So let's think back. Do you think that was informational text? Yeah, I do too. It was all kinds of information. It was sequencing. There was a lot going on, and then we had to reread a couple of pages because maybe they didn't quite make sense or I said the word the wrong way. Okay, so all good stuff in there. Let me see, what else do we need to, oh yeah, and I hope you made a personal connection somewhere in there. Now I did a couple too, because I said if you get the peanut butter sandwich at school, good. All right, there's a little activity I'd like you to do. It's gonna be right below this video. Okay, you're just gonna make a little list and the directions will be in the instructions. And then just make sure you take the quiz. Take the quiz when you're all finished. All right, talk to you later, guys. Bye-bye.